Hello and welcome to California Gun Law. I'm your host, Don Hammond. I'm a licensed attorney and shooting instructor. I regularly help teach the 16-hour class that's required to get a concealed carry license in California. On this program, we provide education on California's complicated web of gun laws so the responsible gun owners can better understand how to lawfully exercise their rights. California has a complicated web of firearm laws and regulations, and there are lots of traps for the unwary. We want to help you do it right so that you won't need our criminal defense legal services. Today, I want to get down to basics. I'm going to talk about how to purchase your first firearm in California. For our example, it'll be a pistol. Assuming you want to get a CCW and carry a gun, the first step is to legally own a pistol that you want to carry. You have to be at least 21 years old to buy a gun in California. So if you're under 21, you'll have to wait. I don't know of any shortcuts to that process. The first step to buy a gun in California is to gather the documents that you will need. Once you have the right documents, you can head over to your local gun store for a smooth transaction. The documents that you need include a valid California driver's license, one that does not say federal limits apply. So that's a real ID compliant California driver's license. If your driver's license does have the federal limitations apply limitation on it, you'll need to bring a passport or a birth certificate to prove your citizenship. The other thing that you'll need to bring with you to purchase a first firearm is proof of residency. You can satisfy this requirement by bringing one of the following: a rental or lease agreement, automobile registration, utility bill within the last 3 months, or a property deed. The easiest thing to do is print out a recent utility bill from your local gas company, electric service provider, municipal water service, or something like that. They won't take a cell phone bill. So you have your real ID compliant driver's license and a recent utility bill. What's next? Head down to your local gun store where you'll see an FFL behind the counter. An FFL is a federal firearms licensee. That's a person who's authorized to sell you a gun. The first thing you will need to do is take a test to get a firearm safety certificate. The FSC, as it's called, test is 30 questions. You'll have to pay a $25 fee to take the test. There's fees for everything in the process. There's a study guide available on the State Attorney General's website. I'll put a link to that in the show notes below. You have to score at least 75% to pass the test and get your FSC. Then that FSC is valid for 5 years from the date that it's issued. The FSC test covers a range of topics from firearm safety to safe storage and handling to parts of a firearm and some important laws surrounding gun possession and use. So review the study guide before you go to take the test. Once you have your ID, utility bill, and FSC, you're ready to buy your first gun. You'll see a wide variety of guns at the gun store, and the FFL may help answer questions about the different features, but it's best to go in knowing what you want. In California, your selection of handguns is limited by a roster of supposedly safe firearms that the state of California has blessed. There's a long history there and some legal history that we'll go into in another episode. But there have been some good additions to the roster in the last few years. Choosing your first gun is an important process. Don't just get whatever your neighbor or the FFL says you should get. Different guns have different features, feel different in your hand, and may have different availability of accessories like holsters, sights, and lights. I recommend going to a gun range and renting a variety of guns to see what you like. Shoot Safe Learning runs a Choosing a Gun class, where the lead instructor brings about 30 different handguns for students to touch, manipulate, and fire. This is a good way to understand the difference between a single action or a double action handgun, and the difference between a revolver and a semi-automatic pistol. You can also get an idea of what size handgun you like and how the controls work. Different guns have different safety mechanisms. Some slides are much easier to operate than others. The triggers can feel very different from gun to gun. Different calibers of guns serve different purposes and impact how the gun feels. For some people, it may be easier to start with a larger full-size handgun and then move down to a compact or even a subcompact if you're planning to carry it every day. Once you've chosen the right gun for you, the FFL will help you with the paperwork. You'll have to fill out a multi-page document affirming that you're complying with the law. Once the paperwork is done, you'll pay for the gun and then wait 10 days to go pick it up. During the 10 days, the FFL will process a background check with the Department of Justice to make sure you're not prohibited from having a gun. Want more than one gun? California has a law that says you can only receive one handgun every 30 days, but that law is currently paused by a court injunction, so feel free to buy 3 or 4 guns in one transaction. Hopefully, you now have a better understanding of the process of purchasing your first handgun in California. If I've missed anything, feel free to let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching California Gun Law. We'll see y'all next time.